What you doing, Buffy?
I'm feeding the baby. See, he's drinking milk from my breast.
Oh, that's a funny way to feed a baby.
Oh, lots of mothers feed their babies this way. Not all mothers, but lots of mothers do.
New tonight, a Valley mother says she was asked to leave a popular clothing store because she was breastfeeding her 4-month-old son.
Breastfeeding mothers in the state are gathering together for a nurse-in this morning. They're protesting the treatment of a mother received at a local rec center.
I'm all for breastfeeding, but I do not like breastfeeding in public. I don't want to see it at my kitchen table. I don't want to see it at the Target. I don't want to see it at Starbucks, in the airplane, and I especially don't want to see it at graduation.
She was directed here to this bathroom in the kids club section of LA Fitness. Galuki told 10 News she refused to make her baby eat while she sat on this toilet.
Breast milk is the norm and formula is an alternative. There is really no debate anymore about whether breast milk is better for a baby than formula. I'm glad formula exists. We need formula sometimes. Thank goodness we have it. And every day we find out new things about breast milk and why babies should get as much breast milk as possible.
I'm a stay-at-home mom. I used to be a coordinator for scheduling and training at Universal Studios. Charlie's my only daughter, my only child, and she's a little crazy. I had some issues with my pregnancy, and she stopped growing around 29 weeks. So she was born at 35 weeks and 6 days, and she only weighed 3 pounds, 2 ounces. When she was in the hospital, she wouldn't nurse. They wouldn't let me nurse her, really, because they were afraid she would lose weight. And having her lose weight or not gain enough weight would make her stay in the hospital longer. So we wanted her to stay home, so she was bottle fed. And then when she was discharged, I really wanted to breastfeed. It's what I wanted to do ever since I got pregnant. So I came to Chrissy, who's a lactation consultant, and she helped me figure out how to get Charlie on the breast, and ever since she's been breastfeeding, and now she won't take a bottle, so yay my life.
And this is Eva Weary. She is 6 months old. She was born on September 1st last year, and she's a talker, and we love her. She's amazing. We went through a lot when we first started breastfeeding. I had some nipple trauma. She was having trouble getting a good latch. So there was a lot of pain and a lot of tears at the beginning. But we pushed through, and now we're doing well. So we just don't have the support we need. I think there's a lot of societies where you learn to breastfeed more naturally by being around it and growing up with it and seeing what it looks like when it's working and seeing what's hard about it. And so, reading a book doesn't quite replace that knowledge.
The United States, women are called upon to leave their homes and take jobs.
The Nestle company was providing samples in the delivery and exit packages for women in developing countries. And what we see, particularly because low-income women tend not to breastfeed at a high prevalence as their affluent sisters, is that women will try, when they don't have other means, will try to stretch the samples, and the children end up malnourished.
Why wouldn't it make sense to not send a double message? I mean, breastfeeding is free.
Then when breastfeeding started to make a comeback in the 70s, women were really discouraged from breastfeeding in public.
Charlotte Allen, what if a mother were to drape herself? Does that make a difference?
I think actually that it does make a big difference.
But Miss Allen, you have some objections to breastfeeding in public. Tell us what they are.
Well, I think it's really an aesthetic question of offending other people. There are lots of activities that are all well and good that we just don't do in public, and we're horrified when we see people doing it in public.
So she was born in May, so it was really hot. And when we were breastfeeding in public, I used a cover at first. And I actually have multiple sclerosis, so I have a difficult time getting hot. So I was hot, she was hot, we were using a cover, it was hot, and it would be really difficult for us to function. And then that's when I sort of thought, you know what, I'm not gonna do this anymore. And I learned how to nurse in the carrier, and that became a lot easier for us to nurse. It's more discreet, it's not as hot. You don't have to have a cover over her. The cover stuff is ridiculous. I just think about, I don't want to eat my meal with a blanket over my head either, so I get why she doesn't like it.
I'm opposed to it altogether. I'm a mother of 4. I breastfed. Go find a room or pump before you go to the graduation. Bring a bottle.
Have you been to a graduation? There is no room to go to.
But babies breastfeed an average of 8 to 12 times every 24 hours. So unless you're talking about a very quick trip to the store with a baby, that baby's going to have to be fed.
For me, I don't produce any extra milk. Some people are like milk factories. I produce what she needs and maybe a little extra. And so if I express milk and then we go out and we're out for a long time and it's without refrigeration and then that milk goes bad, I've now wasted milk. Yet another thing that I think becomes a requirement to inconvenience women and make it harder for them to feed their children when we have what we need right here.
Here in the U.S., we really sexualize breasts. We don't have a problem seeing breasts in public. You can walk through a mall and see every ad that is in the store, every ad that's in a magazine or newspaper, and there are breasts everywhere. So that is not the issue that we're prudish about it. I think the issue is that we sexualize those breasts.
Okay, but having what they are.
Yes, they're more sexual than a feeding thing, and I don't know why I feel this way. I just feel like, you know, and I'm a mom also, but you know, breastfeeding is only a particular amount of time. The rest of your life, your breasts are sexual things. And I just
Yeah, but they weren't made, I mean, biologically, they're not made for sexual things. That's what we've done to them.
They're the fun bags.
No, that's what we've done to them. That's what we've done to them. But you have to realize that, you know, all over the world.
I know.
This is not.
I know.
You're the not norm. All over the world, there's a very village mentality where other women. I mean, you're lucky the baby's not here. I'd whip him out right here and feed him on your show.
I think it's just such a natural thing that we should just normalize. It's definitely not, it's not sexual. It's not me trying to show off in public. It's just me trying to nourish my baby and make sure that she's happy and as happy as she possibly can be and as healthy as she can be as well. But I know not all mothers can breastfeed, and that's another thing that, you know, we see in this sort of generation of moms kind of shaming each other. It's okay if you can't breastfeed or if you don't want to breastfeed, but it's my choice to breastfeed, and everyone should respect my choice just because I also respect your choice.
And so I think we have a really problematic relationship with anything that's related to our bodies and especially our sexual organs. And I think that makes it hard for people to allow for the body to serve this amazing purpose of nourishing the baby without us getting weird about all the other things that our body also does. So we have to get to a place where we understand how important it is that a mother can, with no stipulations, take care of her child when her child needs to be taken care of. in the best way possible.
I think that breastfeeding in public is important because if a mom is going to successfully breastfeed her baby for a long duration, she has to be able to do it in a way that marries it with her normal life, and her life involves leaving the house. That's important for a mom's mental state, that she gets out of the house. It's important that she be able to feed her baby whenever and however she needs to feed her baby. The more we accept that, the faster we accept that, the more we will normalize breastfeeding. And the more breastfeeding that happens, we're going to have a healthier generation, healthier babies. And the longer we can support breastfeeding, the more we can support those moms, the longer we're going to have those benefits for everybody.